In this video, we're going to go over the literature review for the final paper. I'll start that off by adding that to my document, literature review. In this video, I'll go over in sort of a more focused and concise way what I talk about in chapter 3 of the textbook. We read this at the very beginning of the semester, but I would sort of want to remind you that it might be worth looking back at this. Down here, there's this video on an annotated bibliography where I'm going to walk through some of the tools I'm going to use in writing this section. And I'll also remind you that there's some really useful details about all the sections of a paper that I go over in this chapter. And so it'd be worth reviewing that. But that aside, so in writing a literature review on my topic, what I'm trying to do is give my reader an idea of what other researchers have done in this subject. I am not the first person writing a paper about health insurance rates across the country. There's almost no topic you could imagine where you would be the only person, the very first person to be writing on it, and so there would be nothing to cite. We're always building on the information that others have done. And so there's really just one question sort of motivating the literature review. What have others found? And so to find an answer to that question, because I can't know it until I sort of read what other people have done, you should go to Google Scholar. And so in Google Scholar, what I'm going to search, you can search it a few different ways, and you may need to search it a few different ways. Differences in health insurance rates. I could add USA, I could do a few different things. That's just sort of simple. And so I have to be able to look through this to try and suss out the papers that I actually want. So there's a few about racial differences in health insurance by citizenship. All of that might be really good information. Those are sort of, so understanding it's not directly what I'm studying, the differences at the county level, but I could build out of that if there are differences across racial groups, if there's differences about citizenship, that begins to build information about what we know about differences for health insurance rates. Legal status, which is similar to citizenship, ethnic differences. And so I could open some of these, I could read them, right? I might also think that I have the wrong search. Counties, health insurance rates, United States. Place is a predictor of health insurance coverage, a multivariate analysis of counties in the United States. Because this is on Google Scholar, I know that it's in a scholarly journal. It's in the journal Health and Place, that's right here. It's been cited 17 times. That's good to know that other scholars have looked at this and thought it was worth citing. Here's another, estimating county percentage of people without health insurance. Other papers are about different health risks at the county level. Right, Google is just trying to triangulate what I want. Mental health providers. So within state geographic patterns of health insurance coverage. So I'm going to start here with this first article. And so I won't open it like that. I can see this link here should take me to a public access version of this article. Some articles won't be publicly available. You can search for them through the school's library. But sometimes you can find a publicly available link, which is generally placed here on the right side. And so if I open the PDF here, so I've got access to this article, okay. And I'll just start by reading the abstract. It's assessing the importance of county characteristics and explaining county variation. Okay, and so there's a wide range in terms of health insurance, ranges from 3 to 53%. Analysis finds that poverty, unemployment, voting, race made significant differences. And so this article is directly related to what I'm studying. And so I'm going to want to start to build out a list of what articles I'm reading and what I'm finding. One of the reasons I use Google Scholar is because it can connect to Zotero. Zotero I go over in the video on annotated bibliographies here, so I'm not going to do it in detail. But I'm going to click on Zotero. I don't have it open. I need to have the version open on my computer before I can use it. Here, I will pull this in. Now it's open. So I'm saving this. I now have a listing for this article. And so I can go in here and I can write a quick summary of this article and what's sort of most important. Wide variation in health insurance rates across counties, differences driven by poverty, unemployment, politics, and race. And then using Zotero, I can insert a citation to this. So I first have to tell it what system of citation I want. I don't really care about what system you use, just use a system. I will use APA. So I find the article, so place as a predictor. Now I have that cited. When I'm done with my paper, I can go and click add my bibliography, and now I have the full listing, and I don't have to worry about that later. Okay, so I know that there's one article on the subject that I'm studying. Let me go find another one. I know the second one is pretty closely related, estimating county percentage of people. I'll open it and take a look. So unfortunately, this one I don't have public access to. I would have to log in through the library to read it. And I could do that. You should know how to do that. But what I can also do is go to this cited by. And I can do that for both of the articles. And so this is the list of articles that cited the article that I read first. And so all of these should be somewhat related to the article that I've already read. They're all building upon it. And so I might find something useful here to my paper as well. Health insurance gap after the Affordable Care Act was implemented. Let me take a look at that. And so this article is making an argument that the Americans, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, left a sort of gap for low-income individuals that wasn't being filled, right? And so I can cite that as well. That's useful. That's also useful to understand. ACA left gap for low-income individuals unable to access private insurance, contributing to continued high levels of uninsurance rates in the United States. And so I can go back and cite this. And so this is really the process of the literature review and getting a feel for the scholarly literature that's available. And so I'm going to keep going back to Google Scholar. I'm going to go, I've already looked down through this list. I'll go to the second page. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time opening articles, realizing that there's nothing important in some of them, putting them back. All right, this one looks like it might be interesting. So this one argues that counties with lower uninsurance, with fewer insured people, have had a slower vaccine rollout from COVID-19. That, of course, is a public health concern. That could actually go in my introduction as part of the reason we're worried about uninsurance rates, or it could fold into the literature review. And so it's a process of finding articles that are related to what I'm studying and building out a record of the scholarly literature. And so I'm asking for a few paragraphs on the background of your topic. I'm asking for you to cite a handful of articles. You should be finding those articles on Google Scholar again, and making sure that you're using scholarly literature. But I'm not looking for detailed, deep reads of this literature. The articles you're going to be using are going to be 20 to 30 pages. You can read through them quickly, you can skim them, and pull out a summary of it, like I've done here for this first article by Stone. You don't need to give me a complete rundown of everything the paper has written. Most of the information is in the abstract. That's a really important lesson you can take from this class. But give me some information to let me know that you're aware of what else has been done on the topic. In the next video, I'll go over the methodology section.